Mousesports turn to pick.
Welcome to Game 2 of Fnatic vs. mousesports in the International 3 group stages. I'm getting less and less excited in my intros because I need to save my voice a little bit. It's starting to go. And I have to do this again tomorrow and then the day after. But not the day after that.
Remaining.
It's all good though. Fnatic played a very entertaining Game 1. And they played it really well. I haven't seen Shadow Demon picked alongside OD before. I don't know why, because it's amazing. And it completely fucked Batrider over. Mousesports are going to go for it once more.
Turn to ban.
Perhaps because they see the OD ban and they think, maybe this time we will get a lasso. A single lasso that goes in our favor. I don't think Mousesports got a single one, and there were a shitload of them. qojiva was trying all game. So it remains to be seen. Fnatic will once more go for the Weaver. Trixi's been doing really well on Weaver. Even though he gave up the first blood last game, he came back with a vengeance. Partly because qojiva left him alone up in that top lane, because I think there was a somewhat slow rotation from Fata up towards mid, or not up to top. But Lifestealer's not that great at challenging Weaver. You really need somebody else to help him out. But they were afraid to leave Black alone because of how aggressive that tri-lane was. They had to leave Paz down there at the bare minimum, and they picked a Chen. I think that was probably the bigger issue, is that Synderen got nothing done as Chen. He offered nothing for his team for the entire game. So they had nobody else to send up there.
5 seconds remaining.
Weaver's a very strong 1v1 hero, and it works extremely well with the way Fnatic likes to play, with the aggressive tri-lanes, which, I mean, they've been doing them perfectly. I really loved the Crystal Maiden pick against Chen last game. It just completely fucked over the amazing creep spawns that Synderen started off with. But yeah, as a 1v1 hero, Weaver is really fantastic. You can also put him in a tri-lane if you really want, but it seems that Fnatic tends to favor the 1v1. And I'm kind of surprised that they haven't adopted the Treant Protector, but I guess it's just more passive than they like to play. It works really well with Weaver. That's the combo that's traditionally favored, particularly for the offlane, if you want to send Weaver in the offlane. But I think Fnatic generally likes to guarantee a little more farm on their Weaver than to put him in the offlane, because if you put him down there, he's going to get levels, but he's not going to get farm, even if he stays, even if you got the living armor helping him out. In any case, looking at some of the bans here, Naga Siren does get banned out. Has been a favorite of Fnatic's. They use it really well, particularly in TI3. They've managed to make a lot of good use out of it. That's one thing that's always kind of it's a big factor in LAN play versus online, is it's a lot easier to make good use out of a Naga on LAN than it is online, because the timing has to be so perfect. So I think that's part of why we're seeing, not just because she's been trending recently, because she has been, but just because it's critical to the coordination that LANs are so thrive upon. Mousesports will pick up a Puck this game, which is one of Fata's favorite heroes. Versus mid in Dragon Knight, it's going to be pretty even. Puck should come out on top there, and will hopefully provide more utility for Mousesports as they transition into the mid game. Because Mousesports really had nothing carrying them there. They put all their eggs in the Batrider basket, and Batrider got fucked. So Puck definitely better at doing that, and now they don't just have the Batrider, they've got the Puck, and Fata plays a pretty good Puck. Fnatic will also has a Visage this game, which would seem to indicate, I mean, given that they've got a Weaver, you don't, in my mind, Weaver plus Visage is not, ooh, it's a Venomancer! Yes! Weaver plus Visage is not necessarily the greatest tri-lane combo, just because Weaver doesn't have burst damage, and particularly early levels, he doesn't deal much damage, he just survives and gets creep kills. That's what Weaver does. And the Swarm, the minus armor, doesn't really synergize with Visage very well, so I tend to prefer other carries and semi-carries to combo with Visage if you're going to go for any sort of
10
tri-lane,
seconds remaining.
defensive or aggressive. But with the Venomancer pick, it looks like
5
an aggressive
seconds
tri-lane again
remaining.
from Fnatic. I think this is pretty smart from Fnatic. Although I mean they tend to favor them anyways, but mousesports I think struggle in their try versus try. That's one of the things that teams spend a lot of time practicing when they're boot camping is they do a lot of 3v3s in try versus try situations, trying to practice out the coordination, the communication, because it's not as easy as it looks, and that's one reason that I tend in pubs to stray away from it. I've been trying it more recently, but with mixed success because of how much communication it requires. It takes a lot of practice. But Fnatic have been boot camping for 2 months, and so I think their try versus try is very strong, and they want to make use of that because they know that mousesports are a little weaker in this regard. Particularly because they with their defensive tri lanes, mousesports generally just wants to guarantee Black's farm. They're not looking necessarily for lots of kills. They just want to secure Black and hope their other solo lanes are going well. Sometimes they'll go for the aggressive tri lane, but I haven't seen them really have much success with it, at least in recent days. mousesports will get the anti-mage, which is one of their favorites.
10 seconds
Black plays
remaining.
a pretty fantastic anti-mage. Black is, I think, the best farmer
5
among Western
seconds
teams.
remaining.
Haven't looked at the stats recently on that. It's always shifting back and forth. Kind of depends on win rates.
Reserve time.
But Black is generally regarded as the meanest anti-mage this side of the Pacific. And so mousesports are going to be pretty happy to have that on their side. The only trouble for mousesports that I see is who's he going to mana void? I think not that you have to have a mana void available. Oh, and it's a Vengeful Spirit. Look at this aggressive tri-lane from Fnatic. Oh, it's the balls. The balls, the cojones. They're so big. Who's he going to mana void? And you don't have to have a mana void target when you pick anti-mage, but it's pretty nice. It's a lot of damage. You're missing out on a big utility of anti-mage if you don't have that. You can mana void Visage, but he's got Gravekeeper's Cloak.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe if he burns through the charges, then yeah, that's some damage, but Visage is not a high int hero. He doesn't have a massive int gain, and he's not going to build int items. He's going to build things like an Ag Scepter,
10 seconds
Medallion of
remaining.
Courage. Nothing that drastically increases his
5
mana pool,
seconds
something like a
remaining.
Bloodstone, like the Vice. Those are unlikely. So I'm a little worried for the utility of this anti-mage as this game goes forward, and this aggressive tri-lane from Fnatic is so deadly. Holy God. In terms of level 1 engagements, you can't ask for better than Visage, Venomancer, Vengeful Spirit. It's the triple V. It's what makes it so deadly. But no, Magic Missile, nice burst damage. Gale, follow it up. You're guaranteed to get a Gale after the stun. Or you start with a Grave Chill. There's so many ways to start these fights for Fnatic, and they're gonna get kills. If they don't,
Prepare for battle.
I don't know. It's maybe even not that bad if they don't get kills in this aggressive tri-lane, but they certainly can, and it's super dangerous for Black. It's super dangerous. He's gonna get harassed out of lane pretty easily, and I mean Venomancer is so good, I think, in aggressive tri-lanes because of once you get to level 2 and you can start spamming wards, you get so much vision. It helps your positioning so much. You're not so dependent on the ward placement, which can be such a problem in these tri-lanes where there's constant counter warding going on. So I love this pick from Fnatic. It's interesting that Air is on it, so it's gonna be a farming Vengeful Spirit, but it's Virtus Pro style. I love it. And I think it's going to work very well. Vengeful Spirit has been neglected by a lot of teams over the last few months, and I'm happy to see Vengeful Spirit make a return. It's a high aggression support, one that transitions well into the late game and can turn into a completely underfarmed shit show, but that's I don't think that's going to happen this game. So yeah, Era will be the farming component of this tri-lane on Vengeful Spirit. Fly is going to be on Visage, and Notail on Venomancer. I can't stress. Ooh, an Invis Rune is a nice pickup there, and there's no vision of that for mousesports. Era can walk straight ahead, and if he lands a magic missile in the right position, synderen wisely backing off. But if he steps a little bit forward, then they could potentially find a kill here. And actually, Puck is up here. What's going on? Fascinating. Huh. So Hanni on Dragon Knight is going to be up versus Black on his anti-mage, but it's a 1v1 middle. I have never seen this before. I've never seen Puck in a tri-lane. I think this is a smart adjustment. I think they realized, like, there's no way that Black can stand in this tri-lane. So, mousesports, they adjust. And they send Black middle, where he will do great against Dragon Knight. 1v1, it's going to be a little hard for Black early on. But he's been pulling some regen. And so he should be able to make it through these these early levels. And the mana burn is such a problem for Dragon Knight. He's got to be able to spam the Flame Breath in order to survive in this lane. So great adjustment by mousesports, and it could be the difference maker in this game. That said, once he's out of mana, Dragon Knight can still just auto-attack things. So it will depend a lot. It's going to depend a lot on play, and I suspect that neither of these players have played this matchup or practiced it. So there's a lot of variability that could happen in this matchup. Down at bottom lane, I want to make sure I get through the matchups before any kills happen in this try versus try. It's going to be qojiva on Batrider versus Trixi on Weaver. Once more, they decided they didn't have enough in game 1, so they're going to go for it again. And I mean, it's going to be a wash. They're both going to get farm. Weaver, Trixi was doing his own pulling here, which he kind of just ended up feeding the creeps to qojiva, so not the greatest decision in the end. And now he's last hitting under the tower, so maybe shouldn't, but it should otherwise be even. One thing I just realized about putting Puck in this tri-lane, brilliant idea. Now that I really sit down and think about it, he can phase shift the Magic Missile and the Gale, as well as the Soul Assumption. In terms of a hero that can live through the damage that Fnatic puts out, Puck's perfect. Now, Puck doesn't offer a lot for tri-lanes, offers no disable, only a silence, very squishy, cannot jump in without, great risk. But in terms of getting something out of this tri-lane, mousesports is doing exactly the only thing they can. Now, qojiva, he's rotated mid. Hanni, he could be in trouble here. Yeah, I don't see a way out for this for him. He's just going to get auto-attack down. And Black, he manages to get the last hit there. First blood for Black is a big deal, and it's going to make his life in this mid lane a lot easier. And having a solo lane for an anti-mage like this is fantastic. It's going to make, I mean, he's already topping the CS charts. It's only going to get worse for Hanni, and they may need to consider a rotation from one of their heroes. The trouble with Fnatic is they kind of went all in on this strat, and I love it. It's greatly endearing to me, but who can they send away? They need all three up here in order to make this work. Actually, they're group jungling here. Oh, that was just a chain pull. That's what it was. Or was it a side pull? I don't know. Didn't see it. The levels are going to be kind of slow for Fnatic as well, which is unfortunate for these supports, because they'd love to be providing some support for their other two lanes, which they, depending on how they go, if Trixi dies again and qojiva doesn't rotate, then he could be having a hard time versus qojiva. But once he hits level 5, and he's already level 5, so qojiva not doing so hot. It's already a rotation down here. So want to secure the rune for Hanni. Hera's got to be careful. Nice dodge of the ice path. No chance for Synderen to land that. So they secure the rune for Hanni. A double damage is about as best as he could ask for right now. We'll be able to harass Black out of the lane. So as long as he got this DD, he's going to be okay. As long as there's not more rotation from qojiva. That haste rune was pretty lucky. It's a decent example of getting the perfect rune for the situation. qojiva really wants to harass Trixi out of the lane. But it's nevertheless pretty even down here. 21-4 on Trixi versus 19-3 on qojiva. Over mid, that's also completely even. 25-5 on both. So that's neck and neck. The only thing that's really not going in Fnatic's favor right now is just this aggressive tri-lane. There's fallen behind a little bit. It's not overwhelming, but the supports are the difference maker here. They've been able to get some pulls off and find some Oh, there's a big dive here onto Black. Hanni wants to take Black down. Does he have any? He has a blink, so he shouldn't go down. But he is going to harass him out of lane. qojiva shows up just in time, though, and Hanni has to make it out of here. Can he do it? The stacks of napalm ticking up. He's got the mana void, Black does, but he doesn't want to step in for just even one auto attack, because that could mean his death. It's okay, because I mean, there's the poison you have to account for. So very aggressive movement here from Hanni. Forces a rotation from qojiva, and it's going to leave Trixi down here alone and slow down qojiva's farm. So pretty good news for them. I like the aggressive play. It's a weird matchup, I have to say. Missed dual breath from synderen. Probably shouldn't have bothered. Be curious to see what Era's build here is going to be. He's got 2 points up in Wave of Terror, already differing from the classic NS build. By classic NS, I mean what NS does. Wow, qojiva, he's really got to be careful. Though he's getting a lot of farm out of this jungle, so if he can get his Blink Dagger soon, he can make some kills happen around the map. Looks like he'll probably have another. He's not as fast as he was in the previous game. I think he's kind of afraid of Trixi at this point, and with qojiva gone, Trixi's topping the CS charts. But it's very important that qojiva gets that Blink Dagger as soon as possible, because as soon as he does, he can rotate top and start finding kills. It's very dangerous jumping into this. Ooh, Ice Path lands. Black is here. Nice Gale lands on 2, Wave of Terror on 3. Will force mousesports back, so Black's rotation does not pay off here. But it looks like they may be doing a lane swap. Yeah, Fata's going to head mid. Appears to be the decision here. Now that Black has his levels, he's got pure stats here. He got 1-1-1 and nothing but stats. Wants to be tanky enough to survive all this damage, which he should be. Although, is he? Just as I say that, eats the magic missile stun, and Fnatic, they're happy to have a target to go for. And actually, during Black's absence, hanni takes down mid. That's really big. That's, in professional games, something you don't often see is solo kills on the mid tower. Because it's such an important tower, there will always be someone to stay mid and make sure that there's no chance of the mid tier 1 getting too much damage unnecessarily. But with Black gone, hanni's able to take it down. That's a big boon for his team. I think that's actually a very good deal. So, oh, down at bottom lane, qojiva. He goes down to Trixi. Trixi picks up a double damage. That's why. Trixi's having a fantastic time. Oh, there's a big dive going on. Black has to blink out. Era, can he make it out of here? He's not tanking the tower, but notail is. And notail, oh. Black is a 10 HP. One more tick from the Gale. One more tick from the Gale. No, because he's got the Ring of Regen. Ring of Health. He will live through this just barely. Fly really wanted to make that kill happen. That was pretty over-aggressive by Fnatic. They got the Bloodlust. They're like, as soon as Black shows up in that lane, they start using their abilities. They weren't using anything before, but now they're like, ah, yes, it's time. Which is, to be fair, I mean, they can't risk wasting their mana on Fata. If he phase shifts even one of their abilities and they don't get the damage, then it's it. Not to mention, if he saves his orb, they still can't kill him. But they force Black out of the lane, which is a pretty big deal. It's not like Paz can farm it, and it's not like Synderen can farm it either, so it's going to leave this lane uncontested. Hanni rotates up to top. His Dragon Form is off cooldown now and would love to start working on this tower, which is great news for Fnatic. Love to start opening up this map for these supports, getting them their levels so that they can actually start making some things happen in the enemy jungle. qojiva, he's still working on his Blink Dagger, which I shouldn't say that with such disdain. It's only 9 minutes in, and the traditional timing is around 11 to 12 minutes for Batrider, so he's not behind or anything. It's just compared to last game, he had a 9-minute Blink Dagger, so now that's where my expectations are set. Fnatic will continue this push. They still got the Dragon Form going on hanni, and they would love to force a response from mousesports, but they also know that as long as they're pressuring this, Black is not getting farmed. He's really started to fall behind in last hits compared to where he was early on. He's having a grand old time. in mid. Until hanni got levels, and then things changed. Trixi down at bottom. He's doing a lot of work on this bottom tower. qojiva has an invis, and there's a teleport in from Fata, but there's no blink yet. Will Trixi stick around? That's the question. If qojiva gets the lasso off and they time there's only one level in the waiting rift. That's the problem. Oh, Visage up top. Black, will he go down? He's so close. Nope, not quite, but there's the magic missile onto pause. Can Era find another kill here? Juan's back up, but down at bottom, Trixi, he will actually be okay. So hanni, oh, he finishes off pause, so hanni does manage to find a kill here. Pretty good engagement for Fnatic up atop, even though Fly goes down. Oh, there's a swap onto synderen. Gets pulled back underneath his own tower. Fnatic's positioning is so aggressive here. They give no fucks, and they're going to take the top tier 2, no problem. Trixi, as well, he could get a solo kill on qojiva. It's pretty close anyways. I mean, he could also take this tower on his own. Fnatic are taking quick map control, and that's bad news for Black. That sounds like a novel or something, like Bad News for Black. I don't know. Maybe a comic book. Some shitty novella. His jungle is no longer safe in any way, shape, or form. The mid-tier 1 is down, and both of his top towers are down. There's nowhere he can run to where he will be safe. And he does not have his Battle Fury, so his farming speed is pretty slow, meaning he's going to be sitting in one place for a long time. He's going to have to static farm this for probably 5 to 6 minutes. Maybe not quite that long, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Before he can really feel safe with this farming. Double damage on Weaver yet again. Trixi can feel really aggressive with this and probably just take the tower. Fnatic can camp themselves on mousesports' side of the map. No problem. Now Blink Dagger's up on qojiva, so Fnatic has to be careful about that, but it's 12 minutes, they should be expecting it by this point, so. Down at bottom, oh, Fats is getting chain stunned up. Can he make it out? No! Wow, he get good timing on the stun from hanni, make sure that he's not able to jaunt to his orb. So, a kill on Fata, that's bad. This is really bad for mousesports. It's looking quite dire. Almost 6,000 gold in favor of Fnatic. Oh my god, there's another kill. qojiva, he gets nice swap there into the Gale. Very nice coordination there. Easy kill, so qojiva goes down, and Trixi, does he gonna dive this tower? It does look like it. He's gonna pass the tier 3. One more Shikuchi. Nice ice path from synderen. This could make Trixi pay. Just one more right click. He does get it. Time lapses all of the damage just in time, and Fata will go down in his own base. Look at where look at where Fnatic are. They have 2 heroes just sitting inside mousesports' base at 13 minutes. This is an amazing dive, and it's paying off in spades. Meanwhile, the rest of Fnatic are just happily working away on the bottom tier 2. Amazing plays from Fnatic. They're pushing it to the exact limit that they know they can. Oh, the magic missile on synderen. He steps out just a little bit too far. Black. Oh, there's a lasso onto Era. Can they pick up this kill? But nice dragon tail onto Black. Make sure that he goes down. Now Era is stuck inside the base. He wants to swap somebody in. They were trying. I think he was trying to get to hanni. So weird engagement there, but nonetheless. Still a great fight for Fnatic. Even though they give up Era and Notail, they should... Well, actually, a little ways off on the bot tier 2, but nevertheless, I mean, killing Black yet again. I mean, these are the exact kind of circumstances where you don't want to have an anti-mage on your team. He can do nothing here. All he can do, at most, is just mana void someone, and that's not going to do anything. Level 1 mana void is... It's great versus intelligence heroes. It does jack shit versus anybody else. So, there's the bottom tier 2. Trixi picks up the last hit on that, and the gold, oh god, 7,500 at 15 minutes. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. And Notail isn't even level 6. Like, normally this would be a problem. I'd be saying, oh no, Notail isn't level 6. It's 15 minutes into the game. But that's not a problem for Fnatic. They're really okay with this, because Trixi's level 11. Air's 8, which is about where he should be, given that he was the farming component of that tri-lane. What's hanni at? Hanni's at 11. The important heroes, the cores, they're getting what they need, and that's all they really care about. The Poison Nova on Venomancer, it is really valuable, but at this point, it's just gravy for Fnatic. All they need is the Gale from Venomancer to keep functioning the way they are. I mean, They'll group up mid, and they'll probably take down the mid tier 2, no problem. And there's not a lot that mousesports can do about it. They are so underfarmed at this point. Fata, 15 minutes in, nowhere near his blink dagger. qojiva, no force staff in sight. Synderen sitting on naked boots. Black probably got another 4 to 5 minutes before he's got his Battle Fury. Trixi, he gets lassoed up. This should be a kill here. Nice ice path and the lift. So Trixi will go down. mousesports find a much needed kill, and on Trixi, no less. So important for them. Very important indeed. But meanwhile, it's like mousesports can't take anything. They can't have nice things without Fnatic just taking something nicer. There's the Roche going down. Era picks up the Aegis there. And Fnatic are pretty happy with that. The top tier 1 will get pushed in by mousesports. Fortify gets used. I'm curious to see if mousesports will be able to take this tower. Will there be any yes? There's 2 TPs in from mousesports, or from Fnatic. And can they chase them down fast enough? Oh, there's the stun onto Synderen, so they will find a kill for this. Hanni's having a pretty great game at this point. He's got a PKB, which he hasn't used yet. 60 minutes in, that basically means he's not going to get stopped. He doesn't have that much damage, but he doesn't need to. He just needs to stun people. When you've got heroes that are this underfarmed, 800 HP, you don't need damage items. You just need stuns. Poor Paz, he's sitting on naked boots. I'm trying to see if there's any hope here for mousesports, but they can't keep the lanes pushed out. They don't have good anti-push. They don't have great team fight, particularly because of the lack of blink dagger on Fata. Fortify gets used on the mid tier 2. Probably doesn't matter. It will waste some time of Fnatic's, and I don't think Fnatic is. Just as I say this, I'm about to say they're not ready to push into the base, but they may just want to force Black to back. Not sure what Fnatic's game is. Era. Oh, there's a nice lasso onto notail, but excellent swap from Era. Pulls notail back. Make sure that lasso is completely wasted. That would have been a free kill for Fnatic, or sorry, for mousesports. But great response by Era, just in time. If it had been a second later, notail would have been up on the high ground, and Era would have been putting himself up on the high ground, which is not really any better. So taking a look at the items here, wow, 18-minute Lincoln Sphere on Trixi, that's fantastic. Drums, Treads, Aquila, Wand on Era. He's feeling pretty tanky, and he's got an Ogre Club. Oh, qojiva, he's a magic missile. No chance for him to make it out of that. One of the things I like about this early aggression that Fnatic's doing is that when you max out the Wave of Terror, the armor reduction means you can be really aggressive. And 90 damage, it's not a lot, but it's HP removal, so it's basically pure damage, and it's a large AoE, so in these early engagements, it's super effective. Black does pick up his 18-minute Battle Fury, so all things considered, not that bad, but it's not going to be enough. I don't know what, like... mousesports has no choice but just to leave Black to farm, but this mid-tier 3 is going to go down in pretty short order. There's a medallion up on Visage. There's tons of minus armor for Fnatic here. Oh, there's a lasso onto Era. This is the prime target, but he has that Aegis, and it's basically for naught. Paz, he's dropping really low. He's got both the poison ticking from the dragon as well as the Gale Fly. He's got a max charge Soul Assumption, which he really needs to use right now. Hanni, he stuns up Fata, and Fata will go down, no problem. Still no Soul Assumption from Fly. I don't know what the rationale was there. So Black picks up 1 kill, but the mid-tier 3 goes down, and I don't know that Fnatic will... Okay, yeah, they're too low. They can't keep this push going. Trixi can be pretty aggressive here because he's got this Lincoln Sphere. It means that he can just sit in the base. And actually, wards are stolen. This is a big steal from Paz, actually. I wouldn't normally say that wards are like a huge deal for Rubik to steal, but in the position that mousesports is in, that's going to be the difference maker for them not losing their racks. Otherwise... Trixi probably could have just sat in their base and auto-attacked the racks down all day. So, pretty important steal for Paz, and Paz he's showing some good Rubik skills. Fnatic at this point, they can take this game however they want. They can group up and push down mid. That could be a little suicidal. The problem is, you know, when you're at this point, they have a decent XP advantage. I mean, that's almost 4,000, but that's not overwhelming. They can't just stomp all over mousesports. Well, they can, but it's risky, is what I mean. Particularly the supports on Fnatic, who they're relying on. I mean, they're definitely, they need notail there. They need fly there. They need them to be relevant and involved in these fights. And the story isn't so bad for Fly. He's got a point booster as well as an urn and medallion, so he's got a lot of these early items up and can be very aggressive. But Fly is not so tanky, and Notail is not so tanky, and they need everybody to make this work. Huge swap by Era. qojiva gets dragon tailed up. Will be forced back out. BKB popped by hanni. They just want to focus on the racks, and there's nothing that mousesports can do about it since the fortify is not up. It's going to be the mid racks at 21 minutes in the game. Wow, I didn't expect them to go down that fast, but so they did. Mousesports, they lose their first set of racks, and Black, he may be able to find a tower down here. Not even. The fortify is used. Era teleports down. There's no way that Black can go toe-to-toe with Era at this point. Well, Black farming the enemy jungle, doing the only thing he can do, because this is basically much safer than his own jungle. I smoke up by Fnatic here. They know that mousesports has no vision right now. So they can smoke wherever they want. They don't have to worry about the positioning of... Of course, I say that, and there's a ward right there. The fuck you thinking, Tim? Pay some fucking attention. So they smoked right under a ward, and mousesports are going to stay inside their base. Except for qojiva, who ventures out. If he ventures out too far, it could be a problem. Ags coming up on Vengeful Spirit. Oh, haven't seen this in a long time. This is, it's a unique pickup. It's really great for dealing with Batrider, because you can use the swap to stop the lasso, and then you can use it to initiate again. You can use it however you want. You can use it to get in position, to go get coffee, whatever you want. You can use it. It doesn't matter, except for the mana pool. That matters. But interesting pickup. I have not seen an Ags on Vengeful Spirit in a professional game in ever. So, like, not even in Han. I never saw it in Han either, and it did the same thing there. It just reduced the cooldown to 10 seconds. Probably should have mentioned that. Trixi, he's got his Mithril Hammer up. He's looking forward to his Desolator with great anticipation. I imagine he's just salivating with his bug lips. I think I've been casting too long. I'm starting to say things that don't make sense. Black has gone for a Vlad's, which I think it's about the only choice that he can go for. He's going to have to go for a Manta style next. That's really his only option. But the Vlad's will give him a little bit of sustain. It's about all he can do to keep this game going. Fnatic, they're probably going to wait for the next Roche before they try and push again. Use their map control to out-farm Fnatic. And at the moment, I mean, they're not really extending their lead because they've already taken all the towers on the map. So the only thing they can do is try to out-farm mousesports, but because Black is anti-mage, he's got a Battle Fury, the chances for... Oh, the Dragon Tail on pause. He gets the Shikuchi off just afterwards. Will he be able to juke this? Oh, nope. He's going to go down. Pause, feeding another kill. I say that as if he's been feeding a lot of kills, but he hasn't been. He's been doing fine. It's just that Fnatic is killing everyone on mousesports. So Fnatic really can't out-farm mousesports now that Black is kind of doing his thing. And they don't really want to give Black too much time to catch up. But, you know, I thought they might wait for the Roche to do this, but it looks like they don't even have to. I don't think that mousesports can take this fight unless they get like a perfect Dream Coil onto a perfect Macropyre and Ice Path. And I don't think that's going to happen. The positioning from Fnatic is just too good, and they have too many ways to control the the location of mousesports. Through the swap, Dragon Tail is so strong. Trixi's highly mobile, and of course, if you go on notail, he's just gonna pop a Poison Nova on you. Oh, qojiva! Rare mistake there. Misses the lasso, perhaps baiting out the swap, but it doesn't matter because he's got the eggs. It's already back up. There's the Dragon Tail onto qojiva. The swap is stolen by Pause. That's pretty nice. There's a Dream Coil onto 3, so notail does go down. Black goes instantly onto Era. This is the right target for him, but he just gets Dragon Tailed up and he's going to die. Immediate buyback, however. Can he get back in time? The top racks, they're dropping low, but Fnatic look like they're backing out. They don't want to feed any more kills. They forced out more buybacks from mousesports. They've given up whatever advantage they gained in the last few minutes. A pretty good fight for mousesports, really. That steal from Paz was a big deal. And now he's got Dragon Tail. Oh, that melee range stun. Oh, Trixi, he's gotten lassoed up here. He doesn't have his time lapse. Not that he would have gotten it off there. So Trixi feeds a kill. Fnatic has to be really careful about closing out this game. This is an anti-mage after all, and it's Black. You can't give him any room. Oh, wow. He jumps into the Roche pit. There's a swap up next to hanni. Perfect coordination here. Swaps him right next to the Dragon Knight for the Dragon Tail. No chance for him escaping. And now Fnatic can just work on this Roche, no problem. Synderen walks back to base with 2 sad faces. Jakiro is the most sad hero because he doesn't have just 1 sad face. He has 2 sad faces. This Roche is basically the death knell for mousesports. There's not a lot they can do, and especially given that kill, that death on Black. I don't know what he was doing there. He was very aggressively positioned, then blinks into the Roche pit. So not going to accomplish anything. I think he perhaps thought that Fnatic was more progressed onto Roche than they were. I don't know. Fnatic will smoke into the base, and they're just gonna backdoor the racks because the front creeps are already here. There's no backdoor protection. As a wise man once said, you're not backdooring if you've already gone in through the front door. And so Fnatic take the second set of racks, and that's gonna be pretty much it for mousesports. They might hold on. In fact, they probably will. One thing I haven't talked at all about today is the importance of these prelim games is actually pretty big. Your placement in the group stages determines whether you go into the upper or lower bracket. And mousesports looks to be headed towards the lower bracket, especially if they lose this game. If you go into the lower bracket, there's literally 1 game between you and getting eliminated from the tournament. All the games are best of 1s, and I believe they're single elimination. They could be double elimination. There wasn't information on that on the format listing, but it is nevertheless they're best of 1s, and best of 1s are fucking crazy. Oh wow, Black, he gets caught in the backside. Is able to blink away, and there's a nice Dream Coil onto 3. Ooh, nice this Ice Path onto 3, but Synderen is still just gonna get melted by Trixi. Poison Nova lands on absolutely nothing except Pause. qojiva will try to run away, but there's a swap from Era. There's no chance. This 10-second swap, I mean, like, Era can control them wherever he wants. It's like just playing this minigame of moving them back and forth, and it's like, oh, you think you can walk that direction, but no chance. Anyways, the format, I can narrate the kills here, but they're pretty immaterial. If you're in the bottom half of your group, you go into the losers bracket, and there's a best of 1 that separates you in elimination. If you go into the winners bracket, everything's best of 3s there. If you lose your best of 3, you drop into the lower bracket, and it's back to a best of 1. So all the teams are trying pretty hard in these matches. Not giving up any early GGs. Haven't seen any of that nonsense going on here today, because all of these games matter quite a lot. In any case, Fnatic, they're now 5-1 in the group stages here today, which is fantastic. I mean, the big shocker is the 2-0 versus Na'Vi, and it's kind of surprising that they have taken 2-0 versus mousesports, because they lost to mousesports not just a week ago. And they do it in really, like, this was a stomp. Don't be fooled by 19-9. The gold graph demonstrates pretty thoroughly that since 14 minutes in the game, there was a 10,000 gold lead. And it looked a little bit, I was a little bit worried for them as time went on, because that aggressive trialing just didn't look like it was paying off. But the big critical mistake that mousesports made was when they rotated Fata out of the top lane, Black came up first and left that lane alone, which meant that hanni was able to get a solo kill on that tower. And because he was able to do that, he was able to rotate top, take out the top tier 1, which completely opened up the jungle for Fnatic. And they continued that push for a long time. They stayed top for at least another 2 to 3 minutes, forcing out they delayed Black's Battle Fury because of that by at least 2 to 3 minutes. And they just kept rolling with it. They didn't let the momentum stop, which was what they had to do with this lineup. When you pick an aggressive tri-lane like that, if you don't win it, if you don't make it work for you, then you've got 3 heroes that are going to be doing jack shit for you the rest of the game. You can't just rely on Weaver and Dragon Knight. But Fnatic pull it off, and they do it really well. They're playing so well. I'm so happy to see Fnatic. I didn't put them in my top 8, but god damn it, they should be there now. Anyhow, I don't know what the next game is. I hope that there's another series for me to cast. I think there is. I know at least one of the series is already done. But I'm going to stop talking now because my voice is going to die. I will find whatever game I'm doing next, and it'll probably be a few minutes. The average timing has been around 15 to 20 between match series. So thank you for watching, and stick around for